Alright, good morning. We're going to talk a little bit this morning about something that a lot of people do not discuss. I do not believe that I've seen anybody discuss this subject when it comes to the Minuteman and patrolling gear and everything. I don't think I've ever seen anybody discuss this. But this is something that's very important, okay? It's very important because it's just a necessary part of your kit. So, I know we've been talking about belt kits and rucks and all that sort of thing, but this is something that you're going to have in your kit, and it's going to cost you a few bucks. Okay, but you're going to need it, and that's some rope and a couple of carabiners and a few other little doodads. All right, we're going to talk about all of that. Okay, we're going to talk about all of that in the next couple videos, and this needs to go into your Minuteman kit. All right, and I've got on the whiteboard here, I've broken down some things so that you get your little shopping list together and you can do some, do some shopping, because you're going to have it, especially, if you're in an area like I am where there's a lot of mountainous terrain. We don't have big mountains here in the Northeast, but we do have, mountainous terrain. It's not like, the Rocky Mountains or what have you. But the thing is every individual needs to have rope, okay? In my case, I have one long rope, right? But in the past, when I've been on a team of guys, I would have one rope for me, 25 foot, okay? And then each other member of your team should have 25 foot of rope. Unless, of course, if you only got two guys, then you're going to have 50 foot of rope each. So, right now I've got a 100 foot rope just for me, okay? But, if I had another guy with me, then we could separate that rope into two 50 foot pieces. So, whenever we needed a long rope, we could put those together. Do you follow me? So I'm gonna tell you a story here. This is a true story from the past. All right. Now, this is gonna kind of give you an idea of some things, of real world stuff. I almost said the S word. This is real world stuff. I had plotted a course on the map. I said we're going to go up alongside this ridge. There's a ridge right here. We're gonna follow up. We're not going to go up on the ridge line because you don't want to have that, right? You want to be concealed, so you want to be just below the ridge line when you're going up a ridge, so that people don't see you, right? So anyway, I said I plotted this course. We're going to go up here, and then we're going to drop down and go through this valley and blah blah blah, right? Everything was going smoothly. So we were following it, pacing it off, and lo and behold, we got to the point where we wanted to get down to go into that valley. And it was no longer a smooth decline. The map said, well, it drops off rather smoothly here, and not too big of a drop. The contour line said that this would be an easy-going movement down into the valley. Well, we slogged all the way up that mofro, and we got to that point, we were greeted by a cliff, a staired cliff. The mountainside had fallen away. Okay, the mountainside had fallen away. So it was either go all the way back and reroute, or we had to get down that thing to a point to where we could just meander off and get down into that valley where we were wanting to go and head on in that direction, right? So that's when the ropes came out. We got out all our ropes, all of our equipment that we needed for navigating up and down obstacles. Okay, we got our carabiners. We put on some Swiss seats. We connected all the ropes. Anyway, we got down. One guy almost didn't make it. I hate to say this, but this guy was scared of heights. He jumped out of aircraft, the whole 9 yards, paratrooper, but he was still afraid of heights, and he was more afraid of heights lower to the ground than he was up in the aircraft, which that may sound kind of odd to you, but he was. Anyway, he was afraid of heights, and you know, we had a bit of a time with him. He slipped a couple times, but you know, we all got down safely. He overcame all that. Eventually, he was no longer afraid of heights, but it took a while because he was still new. He was a greenhorn, right? And anyway, we got him through it. We got him over that fear of heights, and you know, that was later on. But we did all safely make it down. But this shows you that things change in the world. You'd be looking at your map, doing your land nav, whatever. You get to a point, hey, that's not there no more. Okay? It's not there anymore. You know, it happens. The earth changes. Stuff falls apart. And so on. Anyway, I got my whiteboard over here, and I'm going to move the camera. I'm going to move the camera a little bit here. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on the whiteboard a little bit, because you don't need to be looking at me anyway at this point. You'll be looking at me in the next video, because I'm going to be showing you some stuff. Now, I don't even know if you can see that, but there's the whiteboard. And the topic up here is 100-foot rope. That's your team rope. Now you can make your rope, your team rope, whatever length you want. You could have 150 foot. You could have 200 foot. Right? But that is 100 foot altogether. So if you have 4 guys, you're going to cut that rope into 25-foot hanks, and each of you is going to carry 25 foot of rope. Okay? And that's your team rope. Or if it's 2-man team, say you got a sniper team, scout sniper, you're going to have 50 foot each. Right? You're each going to carry 50 foot. Or if you're by yourself, right, you're going to carry that 100-foot rope. So it lightens the load amongst several. Okay, that's what you're doing. You're dividing up the team weight of the team rope. Okay, your individual kit, you're going to want 2 steel carabiners. Now, some people are going to whine about steel carabiners, but I'm going to tell you what, you want steel carabiners. Okay? This steel carabiner right here, this steel carabiner I have had for decades. Now, this does not even have a KN rating on it. It does not say how many pounds it's rated for. It is a Austrian Stubai 5000, which is, it's rated to 50 kN. Okay, it's rated to 50 kN. I had 2 of these, and I lent one to a fella, and I never got it back. See here, if I can get up a little bit up close, right? So well, this is a bad mofo right here. Okay, rated to 50 kN. I've had it for years. I have used it everywhere. Anyway, why do you want steel? Now, I've got another carabiner. It's an Omega that I had replaced the one that went missing. Steel also. But why do you want steel carabiners? You want steel carabiners because they're tough. Because they can take accidental side loading and so on. They can take a tremendous amount of abuse without being deformed or breaking. You got to understand, it's not going to be just your body weight when you're standing on the scale looking at the scale in the morning. It's going to be you. It's going to be your clothing. It's going to be all of the stuff that's in your pockets. It's going to be your belt kit. It's going to be everything that's in the pouches of that belt kit. It's going to be your rucksack and everything that's in that rucksack, plus an empty patrol pack or a partially filled patrol pack that's on your rucksack or in your rucksack, either or, however you like to carry it. All right, it's going to be all that stuff. It's going to be your boots. It's going to be your helmet. It's going to be your weapon. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. It's going to be another guy that got injured. Okay? It's going to be all of that. This carabiner in poundage is rated for around 13,000 pounds, something like that. This thing is bomb proof. Now my other carabiner I've got, which is Omega, that one's rated for 72 kN. I mean, you're just not going to break them. And then plus, you may have kit that you may be sending across a line, right? I mean, you got all these different variables involved, so you want to prepare for the unknown, the question mark. That's why you want heavy-duty steel carabiners. Okay, you want to prepare for the unknown. Now, harnesses, right? If you are a member of a militia, a Minuteman unit, a team, SF, what have you, the thing is the idea is you want to have items that serve multiple purposes, first of all. Second of all, you want to try to keep yourself with the minimal gear the minimal amount of equipment that you need, right? Because you got so much stuff, you got to try to keep the weight down somehow. All right, I'm gonna finish this up here, and then we're gonna go to the next video. You got to try to keep the weight down somehow. Now, when you talk about your harness, you're talking about something that's actually supporting your life, right? Life support equipment. Your options. Rigger's belt, which is what I'm wearing right now. That's my #1 option, okay? And I'll talk about that in the next video. Rigger's belt, Swiss seat, or a regular harness, right? That's minimalistic harness, but it's rated for life support. You want some lines to make up prussics, or just have pre-made prussic lines made up, which is what I like. And you want a good set of gloves. You don't want to use your aviators for that. You want a set of dedicated gloves. Alright, I'll see you in the next one.